Hello, this is my speech on organizing a kitchen. Organizing a kitchen isn't really hard. I love personally to bake, to cook, to can, to do most anything in the kitchen. And I spend a lot of my most happy times in the kitchen doing all of these. But in order to do that, to cook, bake, can, do anything like that well, you have to have an efficient and organized kitchen. Since I've done this for so long, literally since I was a little girl, I feel qualified to give you some pointers on organizing the kitchen. And I really want everybody to have as much fun in the kitchen as I do. Organizing a kitchen, as I said, isn't really hard. First you have to assess your space, then you need to assess your equipment, and finally you need to just use a few simple organizing tactics, aids, and some logic. Start by simply looking at your kitchen space. Or as Martha Stewart says, start with your kitchen. Take a good look at how your kitchen is set up. You will work more efficiently if you can store your equipment near where you will be using them. So for instance, store baking items such as cookie sheets in a cabinet near the oven if you can. You also need to store smart by storing your most frequently used items in the most accessible places. This creates centers of activity by storing related utensils near where they will be used. For instance, I store the most commonly used items requiring both washing and drying as close to the dishwasher sink area as I can. You need to organize also according to how your kitchen traffic flows. Not according to how the activities and not according to how you think they're going to go, but according to how they actually do. One thing to remember is that no organization system is set in stone. Experiment with different arrangements. Notice what works for you and what doesn't. If you use something differently than you thought you would, or if you change your habits, you can always move it around, put it someplace else where it's going to work just as well. So once you've assessed your space, you also need to assess your equipment. Take a little time to look at what your appliances and other kitchen items you have. Frequently used small appliances, such as the toaster or the coffee maker, for me the mixer, the blender, things like that, should always be stored on the counter so that they're right there handy for you. While ones that you seldom need can be stored in a lower cabinet someplace out of the way. You also need to keep like with like. For instance, store all bakeware in the same cupboard, all wooden spoons in the same ceramic crock, all spices in the same drawer. A lot of times you can use see-through bins with neat, easy-to-read labels on them for doing some of this. Also, to conserve space, nest your bowls, pots, and pans because they can take it. You can stack them. Stack by shape and stack vertically when possible, such as cookie sheets. They take up a lot less room if they're stacked upright rather than laying down. Okay, so that's some of the basics, but here are a few more simple organizing tactics, aids, and some logic to help keep your kitchen organized. Entire stores exist that specialize in junk storage systems and devices, but do not start organizing your kitchen by heading to such a store with your wallet in your hand. If you have thoroughly decluttered an area and established an organization system, and you still think that a shelf, rack, tray, or bin will help you make better use of your space, then you can go and get just the item you need. Otherwise, remember, those handy items are just more clutter. And here are two, and I say only two, more items that can help you organize. I find that baskets and bins are good to contain small items that might otherwise create clutter, such as spices, dish towels, cleaning supplies. Also, drawer dividers are really handy. They help by dividing flatware utensils within drawers so that you can get to them easily. Finally, I have a few bits of logic that I have had to learn over the years that I just wanted to give you. Try sorting small hand utensils according to size and length. Keeping the small and the large separated will certainly speed up your search for the correct utensil rather than having to go through a whole drawer where they're all muddled together. Also, knives need a special place all their own. Typically, knives don't really get dull, from being used. Instead, they get dull from being banged around in a drawer with other knives, utensils, or dishes, etc. And finally, Liquid hand soap is a must in any kitchen. It's more hygienic than bar soap, and you don't have that slimy soap dish mess that you used to when you had those. Okay, I really believe that with these few simple techniques, anyone can have a more enjoyable and a more efficient kitchen. And really, that's what I want to get to here. I really do enjoy cooking. You should taste my cookies. And I just want everybody to have as much fun with it as I do.